what's up? Okay, so we have another interview tonight, and this is with LaLa. Now, she was here last night, y'all, so you might remember her from the paranormal interview, but we're going to go a little bit of a different route this time. Now, anyone that does watch this, if you have anything that you want to promote, talk about, whatever it is, paranormal, modeling, photography, acting, hit me up. I like talking to people. I like hearing different perspectives, different stories, different all that, Let's see, 1 second. Okay, yeah. Okay, that worked. Hey, Lala.
Hi.
Let me see where. There it is. Okay, cool. Okay, everyone. So this is Lala. You guys probably
Yo,
seen her last night when we were talking to the paranormal investigator. But yeah. So I want to learn about Lala. So Lala, where are
Yeah.
you from? First off, and tell me a little bit about you
Okay.
or everyone.
So I was born and raised in California. I was in California until I was almost 20, and then I kind of moved all around the United States
Hmm.
and ended up in Texas, and that's now where I call home. Um, did you ask?
Okay. So yeah,
so what? So
Texas.
I want to ask, what was it like living in California?
When I was a kid, I was in like the Bay Area, so it was fun. Like I lived on back in the day where you could go out and play, and so I was like a tomboy. I climbed fences and trees and played football in the street and rode bikes to the corner store and stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun when I was a kid. And then I moved up to the mountains when I was in high school. It was nice. It was just really cold because it snowed. So I was happy to be in Texas where it was warm.
I've heard
But I didn't
great
live
things
in,
about Texas. I
yeah,
heard it was a great place to live. I have
yeah.
heard that.
So you think you experienced Texas more funner than California, or?
It's way different, right?
Yeah, it's a lot different. When I was in Texas, I was married, raising kids, um, was a mechanic, so I was building like hot rods and monster
Really?
trucks and stuff like that. Yeah.
Hello.
So yeah, so I had a lot of fun doing that. We used to go like monster or like mud racing and stuff like that. It was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fun.
That sounds fun. Okay, so now have you've been out of California for a long time? Like you've been in Texas for like a while now, or
I moved out of California in 99,
okay,
90,
okay.
98, 98. Yeah, so I've been outside of California since then.
So that
And then,
area's changed a lot, kind of from now and from when you were there until now, like that area.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The mountain town that I lived in, probably not so much because it was like a really small town in the mountains. That's probably pretty close to the same, but
Okay. So tell me more about you. Tell
um,
me about um what do you use social media for? What do you use these platforms for? What do you know?
I honestly, I just started on Instagram this year, like in the last couple months, really.
Hmm.
I've been on Facebook for the majority of my social media career, I guess. I tried TikTok for a while too, but mainly just to kind of show a little bit of my personality and get myself out there. I am a content creator, an adult content creator, so it's really important for me to kind of like show that I'm a little bit different, show my personality to kind of, get people attracted to me that way, since it's just such a saturated market and there's so many people out there that are a lot younger than me.
Now, is that what
Mhm.
you always wanted to like lean towards when you started Instagram, or what was you doing? Because I know that you go to the gym and stuff. Um,
Yeah, I actually had to take a year off from going to the gym because I ended up having a hernia and had to have a surgery and stuff. So I'm just starting back going to the gym. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to kind of find my place on Instagram and kind of how I want to proceed with that. But mainly it's just to kind of like create new connections with people and, kind of put myself out there and get, a little bit of traction that way.
Yeah, to promote like your content, the content you create, right? More so.
so what
Yeah.
Yeah.
is your main thing that you're wanting to do on Instagram? Like, are you spreading positivity?
Well,
Are you like when you do your gym? Are you like going to do like some speeches on squats and stuff like that, or like what would be your future plans? Been on Instagram.
Actually, the direction I want to go with that is I don't know that I necessarily want to be like talking about going to the gym and stuff, but like throwing some videos out there and just kind of some of the exercises that I do,
yeah.
motivational stuff. But also, I love to cook, so I'm gonna start doing a little bit of cooking videos and stuff like that, just because that's kind of more to like my soul, like what I really love, what I really get into. And so I think more I would lean towards that, and then also putting, getting started on YouTube with that stuff as well. Um, I'm
Okay.
trying to think, yeah.
So tell me about the content. Like, is it is it certain sites? Do you have your own site? Like, and tell me a little bit about the content that you do.
Okay, so I am obviously on all of the sites, like all spicy sites, OnlyFans, whatnot. But I also do have my own site.
Hmm.
Um, so it is all adult content. I collab. I'm also a swinger, so I do have a lot of that type of content as well with other couples and multiple people and stuff like that. So
That's
it's not
interesting.
just yeah, it's not just me and my guy. It's a lot more spicy.
So how long have you been with? You're married?
Yes,
I see. Okay, and he's cool with that. Like, he's open to all that.
yes.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Probably. I don't know. It's rare from what I've seen. Like, even when it's said that like it would be cool, and then when it gets to that point, it always turns into an issue or something like that. But yeah, that's cool that he's into it on that level, and it's something that you have fun with. I would imagine, right?
Yeah, and thankfully we haven't had any issues. Like we communicate extremely well together and we like are open to everything. So we've never had an issue where one of us was upset with the other, something that happened or anything like that. We're pretty easygoing, just kind of go with the flow type people. So it really works out well having a partner that's so like, you know, on my
Was it
level.
was it like that from the beginning of the relationship? Like that was the plan? Like
No, we've been together uh 9 years and we've been doing content for 5 and we've been swingers for about 3.
so how did it come up at first? And like really after like 4 or 5 years, like what's the situation that brought that up?
Okay, so this is a crazy story. So when I met my husband, I only knew him like a couple months, and I moved in with him, and we were together less than a year when we got married. And when we got married, we decided to go on our honeymoon for like 6 months. Well, we went on our honeymoon, we never went back. So we just kind of stayed on a honeymoon. So I still say we're on our extended honeymoon.
Wait, what do you mean?
So
What do you mean by you've been on your
Yeah, like
honeymoon and never came back? What do you mean?
so we ended up going to the Caribbean in Mexico,
Yeah.
and we were there. We were just on like a 5 month, like, let's just sabbatical it, just take a little siesta, just
That's
try.
nice. Okay.
And we were like, I wonder if we could afford to live here. And so we found a place and we're like, let's just buy
oh,
it,
literally.
remodel it. And to be honest, all the way through like through COVID and the pandemic and everything, we lived in our little tiny house, which is probably around 500 square feet, if you can imagine. It's just like a kind of a studio.
Oh,
Hmm.
We lived in our little place through the pandemic for 2 years of it. And then we ended up having to travel a little bit for a year and get a little bit of remodeling done, and then came back home. So our house is really not that big, but it's still bigger than it was. But it was crazy because could you imagine for
No,
9
yeah.
months we never
Now,
left the property.
now, may
That sounds
I ask, what places
fun.
have you traveled in? Like,
I I pretty much stayed in the Caribbean. So I've traveled all around the Caribbean, all of the, like, we've done the cruises around the islands and stuff like that. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Dominican Republic a couple of times. I've been to the west coast of Mexico. And I've pretty much traveled all over the United States, but I haven't been outside. I've never been to like anywhere overseas or like even Hawaii.
Do you
Haven't.
do you still have the tiny house there?
Yeah, but we built up, so it's just a little bit bigger. It's like 2 times that.
So it's kind of like a vacation spot now, as far
Yeah,
as
we live here part of the year and then back in Texas part of the year. But mostly here. But the reason why we did that was because we couldn't afford to live in California, or I mean in Texas anymore. Like in the United States, it was just getting so
yeah,
expensive, and we
it is.
wanted to be able to spend more time together and enjoy life. So we were just like, even if we have to like live very, very simple, which we did, um, we were like, it's worth it just to be able to spend as much time together and enjoy life more so than work all day. So
I've heard this before, like with people moving to Mexico and saying things were like a lot cheaper and blah blah blah, and it's just like easier to live. I guess it depends on the job. Like I work remotely, so I could be wherever really. But the tiny house thing is cool. I like the tiny houses. It was set up like a real tiny house, like the ones that they have on TV where you walk in, there's like a kitchen, like a little tiny house, or like
it's like
just
a square. It's like a square, and you walk in. There's this like little tiny room that was like a little living room, but literally like if you put a small L-shaped couch, it took the whole room. And then there was a kitchen, and then the room in the
you're
back of
literally
the
describing
house.
my place right now. I have 650 square feet.
Yeah.
So,
so
like I said,
another
where did you come
another
from now?
question. Another question I would like to ask: where did you get the name LaLa? Like, what made
I
you
have a
think?
funny story about that too, but go ahead.
Is so I okay, well, everyone in Mexico has a nickname, right? Like everyone has a nickname. And so whenever I like drink and I'm just like la 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 la, whatever happens, I'm really easygoing. So I started being called Liquid Lala because I'm just like la 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 la, and I don't pay attention to anything, and I'm just having fun, and that's where it came from.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, no, I was telling I think Tsunami, like when I was in the library, like growing up, when I was a little kid, it was described to me like penis and vagina. It was like to the kids, they would say Pishi and Lala. Like a Lala was like a girl's vagina. Like I don't know if it's an Italian thing or it was just a family thing, but like yeah, they used to call Lala vagina. But like, how did this tiny house um bring out the swinging and and like how did that come out of this? Like how
Okay.
did
Yeah, so because we had, unfortunately, my husband's mom passed away, and we had to go back and spend like 6 months taking care of her estate. So when we came back, we were like, let's just kind of try to get out because it was like 2021 or 22, and we're like, let's just go kind of like travel a little bit. And I asked him, I said, there's a couple like clothing optional resorts nearby. We've never been. Would you like to go try that? And he was like, yeah, sure, let's go. So I took him for his birthday, and we walk in, and the lady's like, so are you, she's really cute. She's like, so are you guys in the lifestyle? And I was like, well, it depends on what do you mean? And she's like, well, the lifestyle, and I'm like, I mean, like, we like to like tan without our clothes on and our birthday suits and stuff. Like, we really enjoy that. And, we do content. And she was like, oh, and then she started explaining it to us about swingers and soft swap and this and
Soft
that and like all of the levels.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, levels. Hold on, you got to break this down a little bit. A summary. So,
Okay. So like there's different levels to being in the lifestyle.
okay,
So some people are soft swap, which means like they don't like, but they can do oral.
okay. So just no, like insert, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they can like do other stuff and oral and stuff. And then there's like a thing called parallel, which is like you and your partner and them and their partner next to each other. But
Has to be next to each other. Okay.
swap. And then you have like full swap where you kind of do everything. And so we learned this that day we went to this resort. And ever since then, it was kind of like, maybe we should do this. And my husband was a little bit more not sure of it. Like he's like, I could do that. And I'm like, okay, come on, we can do this. So,
Ooh, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to say that I would be able to, but like, I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. I probably could.
It would take a
Um,
less jealous person, like honestly.
you guys,
yeah, it's
for sure. But then, like, the thing that ends up coming out of it is when you see, like, your partner happy, it makes you happy. And then you want that for them. Like, I do. I want that for him. I want him to be happy. I want him to have that feeling of, like, oh my God, we're in our 40s, but we're still wanted. We still have that, like, people are drawn to us or, that attractiveness to people. And, like, a lot of, in my opinion, I feel like that's what's missing in a lot of marriages as they, get along in their marriage and stuff. And then when I feel like people kind of like go their separate ways or cheat or whatever, because they're searching for that feeling, that butterfly, that feeling of being wanted. And I just feel like I never want him to have that where he's just not fully appreciated. So I want him to be happy. And then he feels the same way about me. So it works out.
and from the beginning, it was content, or it was first just like trying it out, swinging, and then like the content part came in after.
First it was just like trying it out, swinging. We didn't have a lot of experience with it, but then we met some people that were in our area that have like a big group, and they invited us to go to like a hotel for the weekend to like kind of meet them and hang out. And we thought it was just going to be us four, but it ended up being like 14 people. And then it was like within 30 minutes, we were all making content. And I didn't know that was coming. So I just got thrown
All
into
together, like all
all
14,
together, all
like
of us.
in like one, like filming all together at the same time.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay.
People I'd never met. Like,
No signals. Nothing went off. That's wild.
Wow.
I was like, I need a drink. I don't know.
Yeah.
You needed a drink first. You couldn't get right in, eh?
How long did that night
Did you
last?
participate or just watch?
Do what?
Like, were you able to participate or did you just watch? Like, were you able to get right into it?
It actually lasted
Okay. Yeah.
that day, that night, the next morning. So it was like 2 days of filming.
Just straight sex for 2 days.
So what I'm hearing is you got drugged into something you didn't know what was coming.
What'd you say, Dumbly? Savage?
I said she got drug into something that she didn't even know what was coming. She just like was there.
But you know, but I'm so thankful that it happened that way because I would get like massive anxiety like before a shoot or something when I have to, go with somebody else. I get like massive anxiety. So
Yeah.
having it that way, not knowing it was coming and just like participating was so much better for my mental state.
Wow. Yeah, that's a way. That's like just jumping in the pool, instead of just dipping your toe in the water, you're just jumping right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So after that 2 days was over, now you and your husband are sitting next to each other. Was there any like weird talk, or was just like, all right, we're gonna do this from now on? Like now we could actually like, or was it a little weird at first?
It was so funny because we woke up, we came home, and obviously, like, for 2 days, we were just exhausted, went to bed. So the next morning, we had a talk, and we were just like, oh my gosh, can you believe that that just happened? And then we talked about it, and it turned us on so much. For like 3 or 4 more days, we rode that high.
Well,
It was it was pretty fun. But like we honestly, both of us, we were like, we didn't talk about this. Like, is this okay? And we were both like, we had a good time. Like, what is wrong with it? Like, there's nothing to be upset about. It was great. So yeah.
yeah. And at that point, like everyone there was making content, so it's like, okay, so you got into the content side first before the swinging. You were doing content already.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, tell me your craziest swinging story,
Crazy good or
or
crazy
your
bad?
crazy good, crazy good.
Crazy good. I would say that is my
I
crazy good.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. You just said something that probably couldn't be top. 14.
Yeah.
All right, give me a bad one.
Oof, that was really, really bad. So I don't know if I can say this on here. Yeah, I don't know how to approach it.
Mm,
Another couple of ours asked us to go on a date with another couple that they wanted to they heard our stories and stuff. They're like, we want to be with more than just two, maybe, you know, four more people or whatever. So they invited us to meet this other couple, which as soon as we started talking, I was like, guys, this is not for me. Like, they're not for me.
yeah.
And we ended up going because we're good friends and, we want to support. And they're like, let's go back to the hotel. And I was like, are you guys sure you really want to go? And they're like, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything with them. We can just kind of do our thing. They can be there and then it'll like fix whatever, like fantasy that this guy had. And I was like, all right. So we participated. And she did not like once we've been sitting outside on the beach for a couple hours, like 2 hours, having drinks and talking in the sun. We came back, we all kind of showered up and stuff. She did not.
Mm.
Then she put on like a rubber outfit thing that was like really small and he had to help her get into it.
Uh-oh.
And then she decided that she needed a seat and
Wait, she needed she needed what?
She broke it,
sit down
didn't
somewhere.
she?
A sheet.
A seat
A
to sit
seat.
down. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and my face happened to be there, and I went, it
Oh no. Oh, I didn't get it until just now. It clicked.
was
Oh,
so bad, so bad. I literally stopped the whole room. Everything stopped. And then
and
she,
she didn't even ask, like, are you guys cool with
no,
this? Like,
no.
I mean, afterwards, what was everyone saying to her? Like,
Well,
like,
she tried again, and so I went, and the whole
whoa.
room stopped, and I'm like, gotta go, and I pushed her off. And then I ran to the bathroom and I jumped in the shower and I washed my face and tongue and everything with soap. And then I was like, guys, we gotta go. I can't do this. I'm out.
Wow. 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 Okay, yeah. Somebody mentioned
Yeah.
pineapples, upside down pineapples.
Yes.
That's something in Florida. They have a community called the Villages, and it's like a 55 and older huge community in Orlando. and it has a very high population of STDs and a very high population of swingers. And I guess what they do is they'll have these golf carts and they put these upside down pineapples and hang them from their golf carts, and it like tells the other couples that they're swingers and stuff,
Yeah.
and that's how they identify or whatever. But yeah, it's somewhere in Orlando. It's like one of the biggest retirement communities, I think, in Florida or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
upside down pineapple.
Pineapples and also now flamingos. Flamingos are a sign of swingers now.
Flamingos.
Hmm.
So like if there was like a flamingo like like on my car, like on the like hanging, that would be a
Yeah.
sign. And then that's like a sign for people to be able to approach, like if they're into the same thing. Is it like kind of like that? Or do you meet more people through people or online, or like how's that
Well,
go?
there's like sites and stuff, excuse me, where you can meet people, but typically you meet people like just like at random. I'm not even gonna lie. Like we have a whole community and I meet people through friends and everything like that. But like there's a lot of times that we'll go somewhere and people will start talking to us and they'll immediately be like, "So are you guys swingers?" And I'm like, "How did you know?" And they're like, "We just can tell."
Yeah, yeah, I guess if you're doing it for a while, they just like talking you feel it out.
I'm like,
Now,
"Did this tip you off? I don't know."
So another question is, was it like someone you didn't want to make content with, but you did it just for the shoot, or?
Have I? There is one person that I refuse to make content with. I just nice person. I can be friends with you, but just not into that. And so I do have my limits. I will not if I'm not feeling it.
yeah, okay, yes.
I
So,
haven't had that. Actually, one of the people in the first experience that one day, one of
mhm.
the people I was just like, I don't know, but it was like in the situation, so I did. But I would never again with him.
Is it okay for you guys to go off on your own, or do you have to
No.
be in the same room?
Okay,
You and your husband.
okay, so that's a yes and no. So we don't typically go to different locations. Like we don't go like he goes out to a party or I go out to a party. Like we're typically always going to the same place at the same time. However, if one of us splits off and wants to go and tells the other one like, "Hey, I'm gonna go up to the room with so and so," as long as we're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I trust that person, you're fine, go ahead." We do have the option to veto it though. Be like, "Yeah, you know what? I really am not comfortable with that person. I'd rather you not." So.
Hmm. So it's not all for content. Like a lot of it's just to have fun. So what portion of it would you say is content, and what portion would you say is just that you do it is just to do it and have fun? And how often?
So we're pretty active in the community. We have a really big community actually where we throw swinger parties. So that's one of my businesses that I'm starting on the side is swinger parties and stuff like that. I'm working with a company right now helping with theirs. But it's typically at least once to twice a month that we will either go to a party. Like right, I leave on Monday and I'm going to a week-long hotel takeover. So I do that twice a year, and then between we go to a lot. So it's often,
And
but we don't make content a lot.
you don't make content a lot. Okay. So is he going with you to this hotel takeover?
Oh
Or
yeah, yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Hotel takeover. That sounds like a party right there.
It is.
Um
It's a blast.
now is it the swinging thing, is it even? Is it like a girl, a guy, girl, guy, or is it ever turn into like maybe like two or three guys, or like two and three girls and one guy, or like
It's all over
yeah,
the
that's
place. It just depends on who's there.
so like are there rules?
The only rules is just be respectful, and like you obviously like you ask like before you do something if it's okay. Like I mean, obviously like not kissing and stuff. Like you
Yeah,
can
I can see
tell if
that.
like the cues are there that it's okay to do certain things, but then like other things you kind of have to ask.
Okay, so basically no rules.
Well,
Basically,
well, it
like, or,
depends on the person or the
Yeah,
couple. You're saying
yeah,
what
yeah,
they
it depends on the couple
desire.
because they might have rules, so then we have to follow their rules.
that's
What are some weird rules that you had to follow?
So
Like,
like it's super weird to me that couples could say like you can't kiss. Like you can do everything else but you can't kiss. That to me is so
I
weird.
kind of get
Because how do
it.
you even like get to that point if you're not able to kiss somebody, you know?
I kind of get it. I kind of get that one. Like I feel like kissing is more of a like intimacy thing, like with like the person. Like I don't know. Like for
you
me,
kind of fall
I
in
get that.
love with them.
Like
Yeah.
I can get that rule.
It's,
What other rules have you heard?
um 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 some couples like they strictly have to be in the same room. Oh, the one that's the weirdest to me is equal. Like if if she does something, he has to do it.
Mm,
So like if she wants to do something, then I have to do what she wants to do. Like they have to be equal. I don't like that. That's not for me because I
yeah,
don't like anyone telling me what I have to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do and nothing more.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and when I want to, not because you want to, you know?
Got it. Got it. Got it.
That to me is
Got it.
super weird.
A rule I've often found, I don't know if you've run into this one, I thought it was weird, is so I'm often like the unicorn, like joining the relationship, right? So it's always their partner, they say, you have to finish in me. You know, like, you gotta end in me kind of thing. And I'm just
Oh,
like, how? You can't always control that. And then that sometimes it ends in a fight, you know?
yeah.
Have you ever had that?
I
Yeah.
have I've had something similar to that happen. Um, that is a really like hard one to handle. That I think would have to be the hardest because like you just like
You can't
Yeah.
well
always control that.
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
But it's not one you run into often, eh?
no.
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm, that's good.
So, have you always had this type of this much of an open mind when it comes to this?
I I think I have. I just was married for 15 years and my husband was very controlling and like I didn't know, like I wasn't ever allowed to experiment or anything, but I'm always the type of girl that would like watch a girl walk by and be like, "Ooh, did you see her ass? That was a good ass." You know, like,
Hmm.
"Oh, like oh, she's really pretty." Or and I like her hair. I just want to touch it, you know. And I didn't know that like was something in me that like I needed to explore until I was in a relationship with my husband now and I was just like, I think I like girls. And he's like, what?
So so you had signs of it, but you just wasn't experiencing it
Or you
pretty
would
much.
fantasize about it,
Yeah.
like any other relationship?
Um, I don't think I ever really fantasized about it, but I did get like tingly feelings when I was around a hot girl and stuff. And I'd be like, oh, she's looking.
Girls.
I had a good friend that like I was really close with, and I would just be like real like sensually touching her and stuff. But we never kissed or did anything. But I would just like play with her hair or something like that. And I never knew that that was a sign that I like was attracted to her because I just never thought that that was okay. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean,
Oh,
I see that. I mean, in my experience, just in life, it seems to be very common with females. Like just that they're bi. Like in my experience, and almost like that. It's like that's like a normal thing. Like maybe like the generation before mine or my parents' generation, they look at that totally different. But I see that as like not like it's very very common. Like from what I've experienced now. The one that's not is opening the door then to the other dudes. Well, like even as a dude, I'll say, like the female thing might not bother me that much. I might even like let that go. Like, oh, it's another female, okay. But then from transitioning to the female to the straight swinger swinging with the dudes involved and that and whatever, and then no rules. Um, that might be just like, I don't know if I'd be able to take it that far unless I'm maybe easing into it, possibly. But yeah, the female thing I can understand.
Yeah. We didn't have the experience with two guys until like just like this last summer. And I think the only reason why that even came about was because it was somebody that we knew previously and were pretty close to, and he trusted a lot.
Yeah.
So like I never wanted, like I never like was like, oh, I want to try that, until it happened, and then I was like, oh, I really like that.
That's funny. I was talking to a woman recently that told me she said she's never done that, but she fantasizes about that, and she's like, I don't think I could ever actually do it, but like I fantasize about it a lot. I'll watch like like porn, whatever, like on here, and but like not. She's like, I don't know if I could take it. And she was talking about more than two, though. She said, what'd you say, six, I think. And I was like, okay, yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely see how the honesty and the transparency of it could bring out the best, really, in people. And I think I told you this before when I first started this platform. I did like a sociology test on how many people can, whether it's a relationship, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, um, family, but whether two people can not lie to each other, tell the be completely transparent, tell the truth about everything, no white lies, nothing. And 99% of people, I think I did like 800 or something, they said that it's not possible. Only one person said it was possible, and I caught them in a lie the next day. Like it was like super fast. So I always kind of like strive to do that, like with social media, with like my writing, with the podcast, just to be like honest to the point where sometimes I go too far, and it's not, I don't get really offend, but maybe sometimes, but I'll go too far. Like I just won't filter myself at all. And I think that would be a great way. Like I wish I had a relationship that was like that in my past, but I've never had one that was. There was always like there was never complete transparency ever, ever. And I don't know if it's I kind of gave up on it
And
It's
at this
extremely
point.
rare, and
You
I
know.
never had it before the relationship I'm in now. So
hmm But it's got
and
to make
in
things a
your
hell of a lot easier.
and in your group of the swinger, what how many people was involved? Like is it just random, or is it usually like four, or
are you talking about the first time when we went to that?
I mean, just any experience you had, like how many people was usually involved in
New actions.
your swinger? Yeah.
That one was 14 people total. Um,
Is
most, I mean, like, listen, when we go to parties, like, there's what we call boom boom room, and you can walk in, and at any given time, you can't even walk through the room. Like, there's a lot of people just
all over the
piled in,
place.
doing different things, and yeah. So, I mean, it gets pretty wild, but in the group itself, there's probably close to 200 people.
Oh.
That are in our group chat,
hmm
and we, like I said, throw parties pretty much like once or twice a month, um sometimes more, depending, because there's other people that do parties also. There's two other groups that do parties on the weekends. We haven't been to one of them we've gone to a couple times, and then our main group that we are with, and
And
we do the hotel takeovers with Room 77. They're amazing.
okay, first off, do you ever do any vetting like with it, like with the people? Like,
Yeah,
do you have to
the
like
group,
know from someone else or like
yeah, it is all vetted. Everyone that gets added to the group is added because they've met somebody and been vetted.
Okay. And hotel takeover. Tell me about this takeover. Like, what is this party about?
Okay, so they take over a whole hotel. It's like 60 something rooms. And then there's usually like at least 12 rooms to 20 rooms of overflow. So you're looking at probably close to 200 people. And it's a whole 5-day event. And it's you stay on the property. It's completely shut off, so nobody else can come in. And you can do anything you want on the property as long as it's not in the lobby, the dining room, or on the beach. But everywhere else it's completely open, and it's just a big party. There's DJs all day. There's shows. They have these two really hot girls, Sol and Mar, that come out and they do really hot shows for everyone. And then there's a heated pool on the roof with some hot tubs and some beds up there. And we have a nightclub, and there's theme nights, and every night you go, it's a different theme, and everyone dresses up.
Mm.
And then there's a 2-story boom boom room, which has got like the St.
Boom, boom,
Andrew's
boom.
Cross, the swing, the like Sibians,
The
and
Sibian.
yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Oh, the Sibians.
It's an
Savage, you know
amazing
what a
event.
Sibian is?
Huh?
I was asking Savage if he knows what a Sibian is.
Maybe he
Howard
doesn't
Stern
know.
used to have one in his studio, and girls would ride on the show and stuff. But yeah, that's is that so? That is that what the content like on your website? Is that like like what the content is? Is it mostly based off that?
Most of it is, you know what? I haven't recorded at the event there. Most of it's recorded at
Because
the
you have to
smaller
get
events.
everybody's permission, so it'd be kind of hard to, right?
Yeah,
You have to get them all to
yeah.
sign. Yeah.
I do have one video on. Well, I have 2 videos on my site that are from that event. Um, I can't say the name of it, but it you'll have to go check it out because it's pretty funny. But there was 3 guys and um, I was swimming. I don't know how to say that. So it was interesting,
No,
but
this sounds very interesting. Keep going.
over
Keep
there.
going. Yeah, you can go. You can go a little farther. Swimming, 3 guys, and
3 guys and I was like swimming in sausage.
whoa. Okay, so that's on there. Did you say your website or well, you can tell me, I guess, after, and I could put it in the post, the website or whatever.
I don't think I could
But
say it. I don't. It's just like my name on here is LaLa Love TV, so it's LaLaLoveTV.com. That's my.
okay, LaLaLoveTV.com,
Do you have
and they can go to all.
What's that?
do you have merch or a calendar or anything like that? Or
I'm starting my merch store. Probably in the next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And I'm gonna set up my calendar for next year. I haven't done it this year. I had way too much happening. I stay so busy. It's ridiculous. Like I don't have time for anything.
and what are your future goals with LaLa? Like, do you see yourself doing this still in 5 years, or?
That's a good question. Really, I don't. I feel like I am probably just gonna, write it out as long as I can. I don't foresee it like for another 10 years or something because I'm already a lot older and it's harder. Because I don't know if you know this, I'm actually 46. So,
You don't look 46.
so
Awesome.
5 years I'll be
You
51.
don't
And
look
I'm,
46.
No. No.
I
No.
feel like you're old enough to be your mom, Savage.
Yeah, you
Not
don't look.
mine.
And you.
Yeah, not mine either.
But
But
my passion, the thing that gets me, like the thing that like my artistic like creativity comes out of me with music. So my niche is I want to make music videos, like
direct
so
them.
music videos. I have quite a few already done. I absolutely love them. I just it just does something to
No,
my soul.
what now? You when you say make music videos, like with your music, or like you direct other people's like videos?
Oh, like I find music that speaks to me that I think like there's this song, I don't remember who it's by, it's called Sexually Frustrated, and it is one like as soon as I heard it, I was like, I need to make a video to that. And so I listened to the words, I listened to all of it, and then I interpret that into an adult video with that music.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
And is
It's
that
like a
is
niche.
can you play those on YouTube or no? Like those are two.
No,
No.
no.
Okay, so they're adult. All right. Yeah. That sounds really. I haven't heard that before. That sounds interesting and cool.
Yeah.
So that's on your website
Mhm.
also then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a whole section. My site's set up like kind of like Netflix, like all the genres, and then like you can go through and slide through and see what you know what kind of you're in the mood for, and yeah.
Well,
It was
that's
over.
something. Like,
You're
did you ever think about like directing content in the future or like producing it?
I haven't really thought about that. That would be fun. Um, but I'm a really good like whenever like things are happening and they're like I typically grab a camera because
Yeah.
I'm really good at like that, and like directing my own, I do everything with stationary cameras, so like I have to set it up, I have to like pay attention to all of the angles and
Yeah.
everything, be my own photographer, so it's extremely difficult. But then when I have like somebody else I'm recording, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could do this for me, because this is so
Mm-hmm.
good.
No, I bring it up because I went to film school and like one of my plans at one time was to direct porn. That was what I wanted to do, to get into, and I have all these ideas on different types of movies that I'm not going to say on here, but yeah, camera angles, cinematography, like directing, writing. I was always really, really, really into that. So like that's why I asked, like if you had, but the whole music thing, and that's something I haven't heard of, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Like yeah, is that the only place it is on your website? Because I'm sure there's a market out there for that where you like, like people would be really interested in that.
I have it on my website. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I might. Yes, I do have a couple of them on my OF. I have some new ones that I have to upload. I just did a Madonna one. I just did decades, so I did a '70s, which was Michael Jackson. Um, Then I did Madonna Justify My Love.
Hmm.
That is my absolute favorite one I've done. And then I did an 80s one, Candy, with a lollipop.
So when you're making these videos, is it like you use new content or stuff you already have,
All
like
new,
all new?
all new. Dress up,
Oh,
the outfits, the lighting, the music, the editing, all of it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Um, what's really cool about it is a lot here. Like first off, like I told you this before, but like the whole transparency thing, and it seems like you love doing it. You guys are happy, and there's plenty of people I see that are in that position, and that you said before that, and I've seen it happen in my life and in my family where they spread apart or ended up divorcing because mainly they wanted to go sleep with another dude or go sleep with another woman, and it ends up to be a mess where maybe if they just sat there and like had to talk about it, like, and it wasn't a taboo subject like to
Mhm.
them, it wouldn't have ended up like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but to me, it's like you live once, like whatever it is that's going to make you happy, that's not hurting anyone else, and like that's not hurting you in any way. then like go for it for sure. And especially if you're enjoying it and you're having fun with it, and it's like your passion, like with the music, doing it. Like, and I'm sure you can come. I'm sure now, like even with AI and everything like that, there's so many other things you can do and like figure out and put together that has to do with either your content or like the industry or like whatever it is that you want, like
So
wherever it goes to.
one of the things that I absolutely will not do is filters. So
Mhm.
I don't do AI or filters or anything because I feel like I want to be my most authentic self. And I wouldn't want anyone to like see me and then go and see like
Yeah,
a video or something and be like, that's not even the same chick. Like, what the heck, you know? And so I never ever use filters or AI or any of that. I wouldn't even know how,
that's
honestly.
mad respect for that because that happens. That happens a lot.
Hmm.
Where like guys will be talking to someone online and then they'll see them in person and be like, whoa, that does not look like the same person. And
You
the
just
fact of
got
not using
catfished,
filters,
bitch.
it's very rare too, very rare these days,
Yeah.
like, and I think that's mad props for that. That's awesome. That's awesome, awesome
Now,
on that.
what is the age brackets of your swingers house and stuff like that? Like, you ever had young, yeah, old?
Yeah, so the youngest was 23. Um, and the oldest I was 69, but then we celebrated his 70th birthday together. So I helped him ring in his 70th. I was his first at 70, and he was my oldest, and he's amazing. I love him.
Um,
No,
when you say
now, what about
70, like I think old, but some 70-year-olds don't look old at all. Like, did he look old? Like 70?
No. I
No,
mean,
okay.
you can tell he's older, but he's just amazing.
And
so so you said 23 and you said you're
Sick.
46, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm 25, so
Yeah.
I guess you just helped the son out. You helped the son out.
okay, so now to join these groups or whatever, does it have to be like a couple or can like a male just join or a female alone just join?
Yes, females alone, if they're vetted. And
No
then
dudes.
no dudes except for there is a handful of vetted guys that have been allowed in, but it's not everyone. It's just
So how
like
do I get into a group like this basically? I, I
I
I mean, I
know.
guess is this vetting? Because like with the social media page, is that vetting enough? I mean, I don't know how would I get into. They used to have a place down here. It was called Deanie's Hideaway, and it was a filthy place, but it was a swingers club, and it was the same thing. Like a girl can show up, female, but a dude alone, they would like choose. They would like pick and choose on like who they would want to let in, and it was very very rare. So like how would someone like me, let's say, get into that without having a significant other?
You wouldn't be able to.
I'm done. Yeah.
Most legit swingers groups and stuff like that, you have to have a partner. The only other way is if you're a content creator and you actually have created with like, legit models and stuff like that. Not like, oh, I've made a couple videos and threw them on an OF or something. Like you have to be a
Yeah.
legit
I can
creator.
So
understand that.
have
Yeah.
you ever made content like what Creators Inc. like people who are up there like what I wouldn't say clout but like well known people?
Um, my best friend here, she has made videos with some agencies or like I don't know what you call them, like like sites, like actual producers
Yeah.
and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So I make content with her all the time. I've actually a couple of the people that I've made content with are like top within the top 5% on OF.
Would
Okay.
you have you ever had any offers of like anybody that was like big time wanting to make content with you?
You know what? I honestly don't know. I get offers all the time by guys, and I'm just like, no, thank you. I don't even look,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
There
It's
is one guy. He is really hot, and I met him at X Fest. It's like a exotic ball,
Fest. Mm-hmm.
and I met him there, and I really want to make content with him, and I think he's pretty high up in OF. And so at some point, I'm hopefully going to be able to go do that. But I didn't think about it.
Okay.
I totally forgot all about him until you asked. Now I'm like, oh, I gotta reach out to him.
No, that's cool, and that's how I guess you grow in OF too, right? You go like it's like with the yeah,
Well, tell him that he should appreciate me for reminding you.
Okay, I
yeah,
will. I
yeah.
will. I'll give you the recognition for that.
So, what else do you do for fun besides that?
Um, really, we are so busy with
Work
that.
and cook.
Like work. Oh, now cooking is like my piece. Like, it's so hard for me because to be honest, like I love cooking so much that it's like I really want to do something with it, but at the same time, like I don't want to take away from my like peace. Like that's my time, that's my me time. Just veg out in the kitchen, listening to like YouTube or something, and cooking my food and not having to worry about like where's the camera, what am I doing.
But it can be cooking with LaLa. You can make your own TV show about cooking with LaLa.
I know, but see, that takes away from the enjoyment of just being able to cook and enjoy my time.
Yeah,
But I'm
I
gonna
got
have
you. You
to
got things set
do
up good
it.
right now. You got it set up like good,
And
where you're happy, you're busy doing what you want to do. Like it sounds like a great situation. It does.
so like Rico, my husband, he's the shirtless bartender. So he literally makes drinks all the time. So I was like, I have to keep up with you. So now I'm gonna have to cook things to go with the drinks, right? So like we could maybe collab on some stuff. And he's like, yeah.
I was thinking when he was bringing up cooking, I was just thinking about like in my head popped up like like naked cooking, like doing something like that on OnlyFans
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
website,
yeah.
whatever.
Definitely in the works. Definitely in the works. Yes. It's gonna be
What about tattoos? Growing up, did you have tattoos when you was younger?
no. So like my husband, I was with for 15 years. He refused to let me cut my hair or get a tattoo. So
I wouldn't let
my
you.
step, huh?
He like wouldn't let you. Like it was like,
Now I
mhm.
wasn't allowed to get piercings, tattoos, or cut my hair. And so when we finally separated, the first thing I did was go get a tattoo. And then I just, added on from there. So,
I
but I didn't, I
mean,
think it was my first tattoo in like, well, 15 years ago now.
how many tattoos do you have?
Gosh. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Well, would we count this as one or
No. What was that at the same time?
this was one, this was two, this was three. I have one on my neck, that's four. I have one on my spine, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. And then I have one on my ankle and my leg. 11, 12. So I like 12.
Were,
I don't know if
were
you
you part of
huh?
were you part of a religious group, or why was he like? That's very
I,
conservative. No,
I
that's
know
just
he was
who he
controlling.
was. Okay. So now do you feel like you could probably be yourself?
Mm,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
yeah, and it looks like that. It's
Yeah,
just and
you're
that's cool. Like
very
you're just
happy.
happy, laid back, like doing what you want to do.
Huh?
Like it's I get that vibe,
Yeah, when
and
you
it's awesome.
get
That's
one life
awesome.
to live, and you gotta just make the best of it. You
Hmm.
can't look back and be like, oh, I should have done something differently. I wish I would have been more free. I wish I've been more
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. And I'm thinking that in my mind right now, like on. Yeah, no, just not even the sexual part. Like with everything in life, it's like like sometimes
Yeah,
we
you
just
just
gotta
gotta
go.
live for yourself.
Do
You can't
yeah,
live
live
for
what do what
everybody
you want to
else.
do. And that if you're not hurting anyone, like what's gonna make you happy, what's gonna accomplish your dreams, give you peace, like in a relationship, make that last. And I think the answer to it is it has a lot to do with the transparency and like
Well,
being
we
straight up
all got a
honest and
we
you
all
know.
got a date of death, so like you might as well live it to the fullest. So I can be like, whenever I'm in my deathbed, I had the best experience of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And
my mom, my kids, they know everything. Like they know
how
everything. So
how old are they? Like old enough to
yeah. My kids are 25 and 26.
okay. Did it bother them at any point or no?
No, they were like, "Do you, mom? Be happy. We don't care. As long as you're happy, we're happy." My mom's the same way. She gets all of my adult um stuff shipped to her house, and then sometimes she has to bring it to me in her luggage.
Wow, that's another thing you can do. Like
I am
you
not
could
bringing this thing with me. You have to